connecting communities through your stories that inspire us. It's Good Morning Tucson.
Good morning, Tucson. It's 6 o'clock, or 6:30 rather. I'm Claire Graham.
And I'm Jose Sasaya. Right now, thankfully, there is still some calm before the big race. It is the 40th annual El Tour de Tucson coming up, Claire. Thousands of riders are going to zip through our neighborhoods, all these different kinds of roads. It's their time to have fun tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's why we have big team coverage for you to get ready for the race. We have a look at the road closures you'll want to know about and the last minute details if you will be taking part in the race.
Now, what about a check on the starting line? Well, that's why we say good morning to our April Madison and Brooke Chow. They are dressed for the occasion. They're live. Now, April is ready, so you can get dressed for today and tomorrow. And Brooke's also sharing a racer story. It's an inspiring story of the charity he wants to support on Saturday.
Yeah, some good stuff. We'll talk to them soon. Of course, El Tour is one of Southern Arizona's biggest events of the year. More than 7,500 cyclists take part in the different races, and the proceeds go to dozens of local charities like the United Way of Southern Arizona, the Alzheimer's Association, Banner Children's Hospital, Tunadito, which offers grief services for families, and Friends of PAC, just to name a few. Since the race began some 40 years ago now, they have raised more than $100 million for local, national, and international charities. USA Today Reader's Choice also named it in a poll as the best road cycling event of the year.
Certainly a lot to undertake there, Claire. We wanted to show you, by the way, at home, the 3 different routes cyclists are going to follow tomorrow. We'll start with the big race, again, anchored downtown the Tucson Convention Center, 102 miles stretching from Vail down to Corona de Tucson, looping past Sahuarita and coming back. So you can see that's a lot for the riders to take on, but they've trained for it. This is the medium circuit, 63 miles, not as far south down to Sahuarita, but you're still going to do that loop action in Vail. Coming back over to downtown, you might think, yeah, this is the more manageable of the 3 races. The tiny 32-mile route doesn't seem as long. Yeah, but you're still going to make a lap motion around Tucson International Airport coming back to downtown. By the way, this isn't all just about crazy endurance. There's going to be more fun. Runners are signed up for a 5K and a walk. People can go on much more manageable fun bike rides, anywhere from 1 to 3 miles. Sounds more like our speed. Now, the long race does go over 100 miles. So if you see this list, that's why we're going to see some roads shut down, and that could change your Saturday morning plans. Now, the city is closing these streets tomorrow from 4 in the morning to 5 p.m. Look at the list, though. Most of them are going to be closed are downtown streets. Now, if you need to use one of our 2 main highways, both I-10 and I-19 are going to have some on and off ramps closed to make room for all the racing on Saturday.
Now, beyond the money going to the charities, El Tour also infuses our local economy with the thousands of people who come to town, eat at our restaurants, stay in our hotels, and just get out to enjoy Tucson. Last year, organizers say El Tour brought in more than $1 million in what people spent around town over the course of just 2 days. Wherever you go right now, chances are you see a bike parked out front. Many restaurants and bike shops say they've been seeing a spike in business. Corey Foster and Tim Carolan own shops in the foothills and say they've been seeing the boom all week.
Twice as busy as it was 2 months ago. Each day gets progressively busier with people needing last minute adjustments, last minute supplies.
So it's good to see helping out local business.
Yeah.
El Tour will do this in just one compressed weekend. We've also mentioned El Tour makes sure the proceeds are helping charities in our community. Single riders and even teams, Claire, put a lot of work in off training hours to make sure they are contributing too.
Yeah, they make a huge difference. And many riders rather, are using tomorrow to raise awareness and money for the groups they're passionate about. And Brooke Chow talked with one man on a mission this year to not only finish the race, but also help in the fight to end polio. Hey, Brooke.
Yeah, he's on a mission to pedal for polio tomorrow. But before we get to the inspiring story of John Waco, I want to show you what it's looking like downtown at the 6:30 a.m. hour. I'm at the top of the Tucson Convention Center. Take a look at some of the roads already closed this morning. Yeah, you're taking a live look at Cushing and Church. This is a part of your Friday morning commute. Just know downtown Tucson, lots of roads are already starting to close up. So allow for some extra time as you head out the door. I noticed a lot of riders riding around town yesterday, just prepping, getting those legs moving a little bit. So just be aware of that today. A lot of bikers on the road as usual, but just be aware for that. All right, let's get to John Waco. He's the CEO of Rotary International. He has a pretty inspiring story. I have some photos I want to take you to of his previous rides here in Tucson. Now alongside him will be 70 other Rotary members from across the country coming here all the way from Chicago. John tells me he has a rewarding ride ahead of him.
Well, I'm going to do the 100-mile ride. This is my 11th L Tour. I've been doing the 100 miles each time. I love it. Of course, Rotary, our headquarters are in Chicago, and so November is not a great month to bike. And so it's great to come out here. It's a great event, and obviously we're doing it for a great cause to raise money to eradicate polio.
Ending polio is Rotary's top philanthropic goal, and through El Tour de Tucson, Rotary, oh my goodness, I'm getting tongue twisted this morning. Well, Rodeo has raised $61 million to help end the disease, which makes the Rotary the single largest fundraiser in the history of El Tour. Now, John tells me that cycling is just a way for him to be social, of course, stay in shape, and now ride with a philanthropic purpose to raise awareness and funds to support ending polio. All right, April, now that I got through that, gosh, 6:30, it's a Friday, my mouth is all tongue twisted, but we're distracted. Rotary, El Tour de Tucson. Yeah, so much. But we were watching the sunrise this morning. A lot of people waking up wondering what the weather's going to be like this weekend. Lots going on in town.
Yeah, everyone wants to know, is it going to get rained out? The answer is no. Is it going to rain? Probably, but it's not going to be enough to cancel anything or hopefully not even delay it. We've got just enough sunlight coming out right now that you can see that we still have some pretty thick clouds, really still hugging the Catalinas. I can see some fog even this morning, so not going to rule that out. Shouldn't see a whole lot of rain during the early part of today, even into the afternoon hours, so we'll still hit about 80 in Tucson and low 70s in Sierra Vista. But you'll notice around that 3 o'clock time frame, a few showers might start pushing in to the southeast, and then the later it gets into the day, maybe even into eastern Pima County here. So I know everyone wants to know, what is the timing of this rain? How long is it going to last? We're going to talk about the El Tour de Tucson forecast, the Arizona game kickoff forecast. Yes, they're on the same day, but they're at different times. So we'll show you what that looks like weather-wise coming up in your complete forecasts.
All right, guys, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a big one this weekend. So if you are taking part in the race tomorrow, keep in mind the registration tent will be open today at noon. It'll also open first thing tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock.
So that's when you're going to start seeing a lot of the motion, and we're going to break down some of those start times for you on the races. The 102-mile elite group starts at 7. The non-elites will start at 7:05, not too much later. The 5K will start at 7:30, and then the fun ride, taking it easy, that starts at 8. Now, the middle race, the 62-mile one, kicks off at 9 o'clock. The 32-mile ride will be your last big one at 10 tomorrow morning. A busy, busy morning, to say the least.
Yeah, should be exciting. Good luck to all the racers, of course. Yes. We're looking forward to this.
Now, the University of Arizona, this morning we're following the possible steps the school is going to have to take to get out of a financial crisis.
As the university deals with this major budget shortfall, school president Robert Robbins gave his State of the University address touching on the problem. But as KGUN 9's Kenny Dar reports from campus, the address came as the Board of Regents announced that tuition is going up next school year.
So I'm here at the University of Arizona, where the school's president held the annual State of the University address Thursday afternoon amidst the school's current financial situation. University President Dr. Robert Robbins only briefly mentioning the $240 million deficit the school currently faces, while focusing much of Thursday's address on investments the university has made in areas of tech and science, land grants, and enrollment.
Obviously, we've heard a lot about our financial challenges, and we'll continue to talk about that during this meeting and beyond.
This comes as the Arizona Board of Regents voting to consolidate and raise school fees starting in the 2024 academic year.
These tiers range from $550 to $1,800 annually for resident students and $800 to $2,600 annually for non-resident students.
Current and former students speaking out during the meeting. One student saying they feel betrayed.
We, the students, faculty, staff, and families should not be paying for your mistakes.
Another demanding accountability and answers to what the Board of Regents calls a financial crisis.
They were adamant that this was not a financial crisis, but when there is a fast approaching deadline and students and faculty and staff seem to be the first on the chopping block, it's hard to not see it as one.
Again, the president only briefly mentioning the financial deficit that the university does currently face, with many more questions still left to be answered on how the school will address the problem. For now, reporting from Old Main at the University of Arizona, Kenny Dar, KGUN 9.
So while tuition costs are set to go up for new students, the university says this hike won't change anything for current students because of the guaranteed tuition program that keeps it the same for 4 years.
Now, there's still a timeline to meet with this. Robbins and university administrators have to submit a revised budget plan, and the Board of Regents has to have it on their desk by December 15th. So time is of the essence
Yeah,
there.
we'll keep an eye on that.
All right, almost a year after their classrooms were broken into, teachers at One Miranda Preschool are grateful and feeling a little safer.
Coming up, we'll check out the upgrades at Powell Preschool to see what has changed. It's 6:41. You're watching Good Morning Tucson.